And it's up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is incredible! Alright friends, if you tuned in last week, you knew that we were commissioned to build a huge monster orbit. If you don't know what the orbit is, it's an awesome little easy design that we take into schools with the circle wing. Now, last week we were able to build our proof of concept. This week we're going to take everything we learned, we're going to build big and dream even bigger. We got a lot of work to do, a very short amount of time to do it. Let's get to it.
So Dave, what are you up to?
Alright, so I'm working on this giant orbit, and right now I'm getting ready to glue the second half on the fuselage. Got all of our inner structure and everything done here, and the top and bottom, I guess. It's going to be kind of interesting because there's no real good way to hold all this stuff together as I'm getting it to dry and everything. So I'm kind of using a combination of Gorilla Glue to fill in gaps and hot glue just to hold it in place until the Gorilla Glue cures. So yeah, we're going to give this a shot, see what happens.
Alright, so Dave has the main body of our monster orbit just about done, and what I have here is the plywood spars for the wing shape. Now it's kind of complicated because in the past we just used foam board that was wrapped around that's kind of laminated together with some wooden thin spars in there, but it's very floppy if you remember. This one actually has to have a landing gear on the bottom so it can take off and land and also deal with a ton of punishment. For that reason I got these big old spars. I'm going to glue these together with my medium CA Zap glue and also some kicker here, and then later on we'll be able to actually bend the foam around. And speaking of bending the foam around, if you look over at my Flexi Spot desk over there, you'll actually see that we're holding that in its form right now to kind of get a pre-bend to it, and the foam actually holds that shape pretty well. So we're kind of pre-bending it here. I'm going to glue my spars up together, I'm going to double them up, and from that point on I can start bending my wing around the spar. Alright, so this is kind of new territory for us because we got to take a traditional airfoil, a traditional spar which is straight most of the time, and we got to just turn it into a half circle. And so far the outer parts work pretty good, but this is really where the test comes in.
Yeah, so we're going to try to bow this in place and see what happens, right?
Yeah. You ready?
Let's do it.
Whoa. Dude, it was so flexible when you went this way. It is completely opposite when you open it.
Yeah.
And the problem is if we cut relief cuts in, it immediately puts all the stress on this. Or the other way when we went this half boom, like we were bending this like nothing. You go the other way?
Yeah, what it is there's just that fine bead basically where the spar material catches. That's what's breaking it.
Yeah. Well, we could section this up. Well, do me a favor, just crack off that one section that we did.
Break it off?
Yeah, just crack it off.
Really?
Alright, let me see something real quick with that one.
It's pretty good.
Well, this was cool. This is not. But we have another idea up our sleeves. We could try a few more different things, can't we?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different options.
Yeah, and what I'll try is I'm going to try more traditional ribs. I'm going to place my ribs closer together and just try to make a conventional wing that's a half moon. Now the good thing about that is we'll get a true airfoil. The bad thing is with the ribs are too far apart, kind of what you're mentioning, it's going to have more of a geodesic vibe. I'm going to try to get the ribs close enough to where they'll be, you know, it'll be smooth, it'll be clean, and hopefully it'll go quick. So one of them is going to work.
Yeah, so let's get to it and see what happens.
All right. Alright, so we're up here at the mezzanine and manufacturing building. This is where all the magic happens with the Hotwire foam factory machines. We're cutting out some pieces for the orbit wing here that we need to be able to put in for our main hoop. One really cool thing is that we kind of like taking you guys along the journey. We've been using the Insta360 Go's for a lot, but recently they came out with the new Insta360 Go 3. And the nice thing about this is you get 1440 at 50 frames per second. And they've also really stepped up their game with not only the display and the case so you can see exactly what you're getting, but they also give you the ability of having new holders. If you guys remember a lot of times when we were flying around, I would land and then the Insta would kind of roll out of it because of the magnetic holder. This is all changed now. It grips in, locks in, but it's still very light and very versatile. And the cool thing is, it used to be only the camera's magnetic. Now the case and the camera are magnetic, so we can move this all around and get some really cool shots. What I love about this is we can capture content like what you're seeing right now, but also we can put this right in an airplane, and because of its lightweight, but it's high quality video, you're gonna have a great experience no matter what you use it for. we're gonna finish cutting out these parts. We're gonna go ahead and finish the wings. We're gonna have even more information about the new Insta360 Go 3 later on in the video.
All right, so we've just decided to try to go a different way because this way didn't work out for us for the inside skin. You were talking about possibly trying to just kind of see what kind of stresses it can take.
Yeah, like one of the big things about this has to have a landing gear, it has to be able to take off and land and stuff, but also it's gonna probably crash and this is gonna be snagged. So what better time if we're gonna not have this piece usable than to actually start putting some weight on it and see how much it can handle, because at the end of the day, this is gonna hold up the whole entire airplane through landing gear.
Right, yeah, so I mean, we're still gonna be using plywood spars and everything, so it kind of gives us a rough idea on how it's gonna behave.
Yeah.
I can already tell you've got quite a bit of weight on it, more than we'd ever put on.
You know, what if I just put the scale on top of it? Would that work?
Yeah, that would probably
it's
work.
kind of
Push down. So what do we want to set up as pounds?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, perfect.
And it's pretty centered up on that spar. Right about there?
Yeah.
All right, so there's the main spar.
15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,
I'm gonna stop at 100.
80, I feel like Gold Rush. 90, 100.
Hey!
That's impressive.
All right, well, the wing was an absolute failure, but that spar is strong.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm not seeing it any other way. That's 100 pounds of pressure,
well,
right?
what happens, you know, we were talking about this the other day. It's kind of like an egg, you know, you put equal distribution around it and push on it, it creates a really strong force.
I'm really encouraged about that, because one of the things I was worried about was just this thing, you know, under a shock load just folding, because if you guys remember the original video, that hoop wasn't strong.
No, not at all.
So that's encouraging. This is a failure. Let's get to work.
Yeah, let's try something else.
So we learned a lot with trying the foam solid wing that was bent here. We're going to a more conventional way, and that's going to be actually ribs going around this. Now I spaced these ribs close together, and I also redrew the spar so that way as the fabric covering goes down, it doesn't impact the spar and make it look a little bit funny. What I'm going to do now is I reglue the spar, I'm going to slide on my ribs, and then we're going to build this and ultimately test it out. So that's much better. It has a very spacey look. Now all I want to do with all the different UFO sightings is just go ahead and color this in like a milky transparent, and then just RGB the daylight out of this thing. You know, just make it.
Yeah, you were talking about the whole alien spaceship thing the other day.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. Have you ever seen Flight of the Navigator?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I wonder if we could make a full flying body thing like that.
I mean, it wasn't far off from being like. There's a lot more crazier things that are in movies now.
Plus, not only that, it's like David, Rebecca.
What was that? 1980s.
Yeah.
Oh
Good
my
movie
God.
though. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
We're just dating ourselves. Well, that's cool. I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rear trailing edge done, and then I'm gonna cut out some of our flexible Flitetest foam, and that will hopefully then mold for the leading edge. So it'll give a nice smooth leading edge. It won't pucker in.
Gotcha.
And I think when you look at that being covered, I think it's gonna be a very nice cylindrical airship.
Alrighty guys, so Josh has been working really hard on getting these wings done, and I've been working on the landing gear. We just got it all put together. I'm gonna stick it on here and see how it fits. Now, the goal here is we're trying to wrap around this main spar and these ribs for the wings. And on this one, he actually put plywood doublers on it, so it should be really strong when it's all said and done. Like that, it's a perfect fit. All we're gonna have to do is put some screws in here and get the filament on, and we're on to the next step.
All right, so even though this airplane is really big here, we want this to be incredibly easy to fly. And one thing we've been using now for the past probably 3 years is a really great product from our friends at Flex Innovations that we helped co-develop called the FT Aura 5. Now the cool thing about this is if you think about when you're a beginner, you want to have the ability to be able to launch your plane easily. You want to be able to fly it and have the ability for level assist to be active. The Aura 5 not only helps with being a beginner, but takes you all the way up to advanced airplanes. And what we've noticed, especially with foam board designs, what we're designing, whether it's a tiny mini airplane all the way up to a huge monstrous plane the size of this Orbit, this thing is amazing. The nice thing also is you don't need a computer to configure it, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go through the configuration wizard. I'm going to go ahead and write the tune, which is delta mixing, differential thrust, all those things you'd have to normally tune your radio for, you can put right into this, and then you can hop it from plane to plane to plane, and you can tune it for whatever you want. It's incredibly easy, and if you're new to the hobby and you have a real passion for maybe a plane that's faster, or God forbid a warbird, the answer can now be yes, because all you have to simply do is drop one of these in. It's going to make it fly like a trainer. It may fly a little bit faster, but it'll fly gentle.
So we've got the orbit all done. Once again, like always, we got to figure out how to get this down that hallway, around the corner, and out the doors and over the railing. This seems to be a big problem that we have all the time, so we're going to see what happens here. Perfect.
I feel like you guys are getting way too good at that.
And we didn't have to take the railing down this
Put
time.
that on top of your Diamondback with the wheel retracted and just put it on top and drive it.
It might fit.
Just having the nose hang off?
Well,
put the nose
retracted
forward.
will sit right on the cab, nice and level.
Yeah, I think it would.
So what's your guys' predictions?
We're excited. I mean, the balance is pretty much the exact same as what we had before. It is considerably heavier than obviously our little tiny models. But what we've noticed here is the amount of lift is huge. So we're really banking on the fact that these wings, the airfoil, everything's going to really lend itself to be a nice, slow flying airplane. But what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I agree with Josh. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, so we're just gonna do one last check of everything, make sure everything's fully charged, their weight and balances. Probably get a before picture now, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna fly this. Are we ready, guys? Oh my golly.
Yep.
Lord, watch
Get
over
the
us.
jitters over with.
Shake them to the knees. Are you guys, Michael,
All right,
you ready?
here we go. And it's up. Yeah!
Wow! Let's go!
It's flying.
Half throttle, guys! Woohoo! First turn.
Oh, that looks crazy.
It sounds
All right, this is the most alienist thing I think we've ever
Oh
done.
my gosh, by far.
landing gear.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Landing gear going up. Hands off!
Let's go.
I see the gear moving. I think. Maybe not. Yeah, it's moving.
What are the cars thinking right now?
I think there's an alien ship.
Oh, it sounds incredible too.
Yeah, I'm at half throttle. I'm not gonna do a roll. It looks like something from like the age of the Zeppelins. Oh my gosh, guys, it flies just like the Elevon version. Using just a little bit. I'm shaking so badly. All right, we have to make this a trainer.
I think I felt
Flip it
air
into level
coming off
assist.
of that when you went
This
by.
is level assist, guys. This is hands off with the Aura. It's perfect.
Oh, I love it. It looks phenomenal.
All right, so we're treating this like a true test flight because this is a commission platform here. Let's go ahead and we'll take it up a little bit. I mean, it is gentle. I would say it's slow. Wouldn't you say it's slow?
Yeah, that's, I mean, for its size, that's definitely, it looks incredible.
It does.
I can't
It
get over
flies.
the way it looks.
Control throw's perfect.
I could just imagine that like coming through a cloud or something. How terrified I would
Look,
be.
the gear's completely up. I'm gonna start putting the gear down now, just in case we have to do anything weird. The CG's perfect, man.
I feel like she shoots though if you want her to.
I think it would. I'm actually gonna do some descending here.
Maybe trying to do a low pass.
Yep. Michael, what's it like flying after this thing?
It is very odd. Because I'm used to like chasing like the small orbit if I ever do.
Look at that thing.
Look at that!
Look at that. Yeah, buddy.
Okay, you're pretty quick when you do that.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's not even full. I haven't yet to go to full throttle. Holy cow!
It's insane.
So guys, should we start practicing for landings?
I think it might be a good idea.
I think that's a good idea.
I'd like to just check the batteries, check everything out.
It just like slipped right in, no problem.
Landing gear, be good. Yes! Come here! Oh my gosh, how many weeks have we been working on this?
Oh man, what, 3-4 weeks?
Yes.
4 weeks probably.
All coming down to this moment. It flew fantastic. And friends, if you ever wondered like what FT STEM going in the classrooms can breathe, remember, this came from a tiny little plane that goes into classrooms that can inspire kids as young as 4th grade. Then it went to a bigger size. And now ultimately, it's gonna be going somewhere where it can move on and grow the world of science.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can dream it, you can build it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy. All right, we're gonna check everything out. Thank you for being part of the Flitetest family. Also, if you'd like to see any reimagined projects we've done in the past, flying tank, things like that, leave it in the comments below because we've learned so much since that time. We really wanna open up some of those old pages and redo it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go check this thing out. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, guys, as you can see, we had a blast with this giant orbit airplane. Man, was it a blast just seeing it fly for the first time and just seeing its different characters, which is fantastic. Also, we got the opportunity to mess around again with our favorite Insta360 Go 3 product. If you guys love what you see from the footage and you think you might want one of these, make sure you check out the link in the description below. That helps us out a ton, it helps the channel out a ton. We love when you guys get to work with the partners that we work with. So make sure you check out the Go 3 in the description below. Grab yourself an awesome camera, use it on all your planes because it's so light. And again, thanks for watching the content. We love having you guys around. Keep commenting, keep liking the videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one.